Okay, hi and welcome to your Programming Oracle Database NC3 Part 2. So today this topic discusses Week 16, creating procedures. Okay, so our objectives after completing this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Describe and create procedure. Create procedures with parameters. Differentiate between formal and actual parameters. Use different parameter passing modes. Invoke a procedure. Handle exceptions in procedures. And last, remove a procedure. So what is a procedure? Okay, a procedure is a type of subprogram that performs an action. It can be stored in the database as a schema object, promotes reusability and maintainability. Okay, so these are the syntax for creating procedures. Always remember, first you have to type create space procedure followed by the name. Okay, you have to name the procedure. Example, you want to name example AMA. Example, create procedure, then space AMA. Okay. Then we have also the optional parameters. Parameters are almost the same as variables. And of course, you have to end it with keyword is or as. And of course, you can also add the or space replace option to overwrite an existing procedure. So how are you going to do that? Okay. So write APL, next is write APL SQL block containing local variables. Okay, a begin statement. Okay. So we still need to have add a begin, of course, for our executable section. And of course, we have to end the statement. So the proper way to end is just type end and semicolon or end space your procedure name. Okay, the one that you created here. Okay, so end space procedure name, then semicolon. Okay, this is an example. You can create based on the first procedure, okay? Create procedure, this one. Then on the second, you can add or replace or create or replace procedure, then your procedure name. Then you can add your first parameter, what type of mode, and what is the data type. If you have parameter 2, then your mode 2 and your data type 2. Then of course you have to end with is or as. Then again, begin, this is your actions, and then end. End semicolon here or end procedure name semicolon. Clear? Okay, next, what are parameters? So parameters are declared after the subprogram name in the PL/SQL header. Pass or communicate data between the caller and the subprogram. Are used like local variables, okay, but are dependent on their parameter passing mode. So we have three different types of passing mode. Okay, we have the in parameter, the default, which provide values for a subprogram to process. An out parameter returns a value to the caller. And an in-out parameter supplies an input value which may be returned, okay, it should be output, as a modified value. So we have formal and actual parameters. So the formal parameters, local variables declared in the parameter list of subprogram specification. So this is the example. Create procedure, then your procedure name, raise underscore sal, then under this one, you have the ID. This is the parameter. This is the data type number. Parameter, second parameter, or the parameter 2, and the data type 2. Then you end it with is. Then you start the executable section by typing begin. And of course, you end the statement and then the procedure name, raise underscore sal, semicolon. Or the actual parameters, literal values, variables, and expressions used in the parameter list of the code subprogram. So example, EMP underscore ID for employee ID is equals to 100. So raise underscore sal, the EMP underscore ID, and the 2000. Okay. So procedural parameter modes. Again, we have parameter modes are specified in the formal parameter declaration after the parameter name and before its data type. So the in mode is the default if no mode is specified. So example, create procedure, your procedure name, your parameter, and your mode. So if you did not specify anything, it will be automatically in mode. Then your data type. Okay, so this is your calling environment. Calling environment, in mode, going to the modes. Out, going to the calling environment, and this is going to out and to into calling environment. Then this is your procedure. Okay, let's have an example. So when creating procedure, you have to type create, okay, or replace. You still remember procedure, okay. Then your procedure name. We'll be using greetings. Then of course you have to end with as or is. Then begin. Then let's just print out a simple hello world, okay. DBMS underscore out, okay. Output. So to print out, you type DBMS underscore output dot put line, then single quotation, two single quotation, then put your message inside. So let's try hello world. Of course, you have to end. Again, you can end like this, or you can end like this. End the procedure name. Okay, let's try this one. So let's try. So again, click this one or press F5. So what did you notice? We have now the procedure greetings compiled. But where is the printout? Where's the hello world? Okay, so for us to be able to print this out, you can use the execute command. Okay, we have to execute what? The procedure name. Okay, so let's try again. Clear this one, then run again the script or press F5. So what did you notice now? Now, procedure greetings compiled because of this one. This one is the successfully completed. Compiled is this one. So again, where is the printout? Okay, the rule is every time you first open your SQL developer, you have to type first set server output on. Okay, so again, run. Now we have the hello world. Okay, hello world, and this one, and the PL SQL successfully completed. And then you can remove this one now. So if you will run this again, you have the same output. Okay, now you can also do like this. Remove this one, click tools, SQL worksheet, or Alt F10. Okay, just press OK. So you will have another worksheet. So this is your first worksheet, and this is your second worksheet. You can now execute from here. So all the codes are here, all the executions are here. So let's try. Okay, what did you notice? Hello world. Yes, so it just called this procedure. Okay. So let's try another. Now, the next example, we need a table. So of course, the standard is for you to be able to use that, we have to create a table first. So you already know how to create a table. So, okay, first we have to type create, of course, table. Then what is the table name? Let's try employees. Okay. Then inside employees or under employees, we want to have columns. So my first column is employee underscore ID. Data type is number. Okay, let's say maximum number is 10. And I want it to be not null. The next column is last underscore name. Data type is variable character 20. Next is age. Of course, it should be number. Then address. And let's also add salary. Okay. Then again, let's close. Okay, so basically we want to create a table named employees. Okay, and under employees, we created column employee ID underscore ID, last underscore name, age, address, and salary. So these are the columns. So let's run. So table employees created. So let's check. Refresh this first. Go to your database. This, I'm using sys. Then expand the tables. Then look for employees table. Okay, so we have the employees table here. Double click. Now we will see the table that we created. So we have the column names. Employee underscore ID, last underscore name, age, address, and salary, and of course the data type. Now click data here. Okay, so we will notice we don't have yet data. Of course, the next step we're going to do is we will insert data. So to insert data, just type insert all into, okay, where do you want to insert? Employees table under what? Of course, employee underscore ID column. Okay, last underscore name column, and of course, salary column. Then, of course, what are the values? So the values are, okay, employee ID 1, last name Arthur, then salary, let's say 5,000. So, of course, if you want to add another, just copy paste, and then that's it. Then just change the value. Okay, let's use Agu here and Almar. Salary is 6,000 and 7,000. Okay, and then of course, to close this, just type select and then select this one. Select 3 from the wall. So again, to insert, just type insert all, then into. Where do you want to insert? Of course, in the employees table, the table that you created, and of course on the columns that you created. Employee underscore ID column, last underscore name column, and salary column. Then what are the values? Okay, the first one is for the employee ID, so I want to use 1. Next is Arthur for the last name, and 5,000 for the salary. Okay, then let's try to run. So what did you notice? 3 rows inserted. Okay, let's check if you already inserted the 3. Okay, so we now have 3 data inside our table. So the first employee ID is 1, next 2 and 3, Arthur, Agu, and Almar. Then the salary. Okay, so now we can proceed with the example. So, okay, so first again, type create. Okay, type create or replace, then procedure. Then what is your procedure name? Let's try raise underscore salary. Okay, your parameters, I'll be using ID. Your mode is in, and your data type is employees dot, okay, course ID. Then percent type. Okay, so this is the percent in number. Of course, close with IS and then begin. Okay, so let's try updating. I want to update, okay, something on employees table and set the salary column, set something on salary column, which is equals to salary, okay, multiplied by 1 plus percent over 100. So basically, that's just a percentage. Okay, where, this is the condition, where the employee underscore ID is equals to ID. Okay, this one, your parameter. Again, then of course, I want to end the procedure, which is the raise underscore salary. Okay, let's try. Again, we have to create or replace procedure. Procedure name, raise underscore salary. Your parameters is ID, mode is in, then this is your data type. Begin. Let's update something on employees table and set the salary. Set something on salary column, which is the salary multiplied by 1 plus percent over 100. Where this is the condition. The employee ID should be equal to the ID. Then let's end the procedure. So let's run. So procedure, raise underscore salary compiled. So the next step we're going to do is again, execute. Okay, let's execute. Then what do you want to execute? Of course, your procedure or the procedure name. Go back. Okay, execute raise salary. And then what's the option? Based on our condition, first we need to set the ID. And then what percentage? Okay, base here. This is the first always. Where the ID, what is the ID? Then what percentage? So the ID, let's try 1. I want to increase ID number 1 and the salary to 10%. Okay. So let's try. Again, execute the procedure. Then based on the condition, this is the ID. And then this is the salary or the percentage for the salary. So let's run. PLSQL procedure successfully completed. Let's double check. So the salary of Arthur is 5,000 because since the condition is we want to increase the salary of employee ID number 1, which is Arthur, and we want to increase the salary to 10%. Okay, so the salary is 5,000 and 10% of 5,000 is 500. So now the salary of Arthur should be 5,500. So let's check, refresh, or control R. Okay, so now the salary of Arthur is 5,500. Okay, let's try again. Let's try employee number 2 with 20%. Okay, run. Okay, let's check again. Again, 20% of 6,000 is 1,200. Add plus 6,000, it should be 7,200. Okay, let's try. Correct. 7,200. You can also increase the salary of the employee number 3. Let's say 30%. Then run. Check. We have now 9,100. Clear? So this is again, this is the condition. This is how we execute. Okay, next. Let's try another example. Okay, but of course, we need to add again a table. Okay, so create again table, and I want to create departments table. Okay, then under department table, I want to add department underscore ID as of course number. Okay, maximum factors of 10, not null. Then I want to add department underscore name. Should be variable character, not null also. And then I want to add location underscore ID and should be number. Okay. Let's say 10. And again, close. So again, we want to create a table. Just type create table, then your table's name. Then of course your columns. We created department underscore ID, department underscore name, and location underscore ID column. So we want to create these columns. So let's try run. So table departments created. Again, let's check. Refresh this one and then look for departments. Okay, so no department yet. So just refresh. Then open the tables. Okay, so we have now the departments table. Double click. So no data yet. These are the columns that we created. So of course, but this time we are not going to add a value using the insert. Instead, we'll go with the procedure. Okay, so create or replace procedure. Okay, let's name it as add underscore department. Okay, so the first parameter is name, type is in, and the mode is in, and the data type is department that departments that department underscore name column, and then percent type. Okay, and then let's add also lock as your parameter 2, in as your parameter as in your mode 2, and your data type is departments dot location ID. Okay, then let's begin. Okay, so the condition is now I want to insert into, okay, I want to insert into departments, okay, departments table, okay, under department underscore ID column, department underscore name column, and location underscore ID column. Of course, the values are, okay, departments underscore sequence dot next val for department ID. Okay, name is one, first parameter on the department underscore name, and lock for this one. Okay, and then of course we have to close the procedure. Okay, again, you want to you type create or replace procedure, and then your procedure name is add underscore department. So your first parameter is name, input is mode, data type is this one. Then second parameter, location, the mode is in, the data type is this one, and end with is. So here we want to insert on our executable section, we want to insert something into departments table. Okay, under department ID, department underscore name, and the location underscore ID columns. Okay, and the values are departments underscore sequence next val, name, and location. So let's try. Okay, procedure add underscore dep complied. So let's go to the execute. Now we will insert data using the execute command because based on our executable, so we basically want to insert data. Okay, so let's try execute. Okay, what is your procedure name? Okay, add department. So base here, okay, we want to insert name and the location. So what's the name? Let's try training. This is training for training department. And the location ID is, let's say, 25. So let's run. Okay, so PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So let's double check. Okay. Here we don't have data yet. Then just refresh or control R. So what did you notice? We now have department underscore ID 141, department name training, and location ID 2500. Let's try to add another in different format. We can also do like this. Type loc for location for this one. Okay. Equals to, what's the location? 2400. Okay. And I want to input name for this one. So this one is the name and this one is the location. Okay. The name is, let's say, education department. So let's try again. So refresh. Okay. Go to the table and then refresh. So what did you notice? We now have 142 education and 2,400. We can also combine the two process. Okay. We can use get the name first. Example, advertising. Then we can follow the loc. Okay. Like this one. And then 1,200. Okay. So let's try. Run. Okay. And refresh. So what did you notice, class? Did you notice the department ID? It's in sequential order. And you can notice also here, we did not input any, okay, any department ID. Why? Because of this one. Okay, this one, if you use departments underscore sequence dot next val, it means that, okay, it will automatically insert the next value. Example for this one, the first value here is possible the 140. I already created 140. So now the next uh, value that we inserted gives us a 141, 142, 143, and so on and so forth because of the sequential. This one, department underscore sec dot next val. Okay, this is very important so that if you're doing a database or your table, you don't have to allocate numbers manually. Instead, okay, it will give you a sequential order. So okay, you can notice that we only input data for name and location. So this is very important. That will be all, class, and thank you for attending this session and have a nice day. Okay.